Hello. This is Ken here from the Rug Detective Show, coming to you with absolutely another one, a big banger just for the family, or not even family, the familia. Yes, let's get straight to it. So basically, I really appreciate the time that you're taking out today. Obviously, it's the weekend, so happy holidays, happy Easter to everyone across the globe. Hope you have a fantastic time with your family. So let's get straight to it. Today, what we're going to do, I know it's slightly delayed. Today's the 3rd of April, and I do apologize, but we're going to do the end of the month review. So the end of the month update review for the month of March. Yes. So what we tend to do, we did the first one, which was for the month of February. So if you go to my YouTube, a previous video I did, it will obviously put it in, I'll add that into the description, which gave you a breakdown in terms of what we were looking at regarding the specific projects and how we decided to enter those specific trades, and really just follow through in terms of the progress of that specific project and where the project is today. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing today based on the projects we identified in the month of March, how we executed, how we followed, how we supported the project, and what it's currently doing today. So please make sure, if you haven't, please like, subscribe, and follow YouTube. Please make sure you also follow on Twitter. In the description, you'll be able to find this Rug Detectives DeFi checklist. It's a free checklist. Just download that, and you can be able to have access to all of this information in terms of on-page analysis, product, pre-sale. You need to go through all of these sections, and then you should be able to fill this out with any project you're interested in. Make sure you follow this out, fill in the details, and then at the end, you can be able to come with a summary in terms of advantages, disadvantages of the project, and a result. And the result could be in point space. And this is going to help you to identify, are you really interested in this specific project after going through this? So there's some form of accountability. Make sense? Great. Then also, please make sure we have also converted the format so one of our guys, Krishna, helped us within our community, our investment community. We've converted it to a Google Doc format. So this Google Doc format would basically enable you to essentially just fill this in. It might be even easier for some people, fill this information, then go through it. You can obviously skip certain parts, and then essentially you can go back. Yes. So that's that. If you want also an additional accountability, then what can happen is you can fill this out. You can send it to myself. I can review it. I can take a look and say, great, this might be an interesting thing, or you need to be able to go on Telegram and ask the CTO about these questions or these things I have concerns about. So it's all about really growing as let's say as an investor, as a trader, or learning the art of becoming successful in this space. It's very clear if you follow a set protocol, or in terms of guidelines, you'll have every opportunity of succeeding. I do exactly the same thing for every single project I've entered, and we've done extremely well myself and also as a community. So let's talk about where we are today. I'm actually going to pop over to our VIP investment group, our VIP Patreon community that we have. We're growing from leaps to bounds in terms of the numbers. We only started this literally about 7-8 weeks ago. We're like the first person that signed up. I think it was the end of February, or something like that. We're now about 160 hardcore engaged members with various skill sets, from UI, UX developer, front end, back end, legal, so lawyers, attorneys, to content individuals, to brand awareness, to people that basically to cybersecurity. So varied skill sets. So not only are we willing to plow capital into early projects, but what we also do is we can be able to support these projects like we've done with Wault Finance, helping them to get to 100x, like we've done with Berry Data, like we've done with BSCstarters, which basically did a 30-40x. So we continue to do that. Bish bash bosh, let's get straight to it. So this is in the month of March. Okay, so this is basically the VIP. What I tend to do here is we have the lower tab, we have project due diligence. So normally we have the checklist. Then after the checklist, we have project due diligence. I'm not going to show that. This basically shows you the projects that I'm interested in, that we're interested in, and we're looking at. We're doing some due diligence. We're speaking to the CFO, the CEO, the CTO, people from the team, asking questions, probing, combing through smart contract to see whether this project is of great interest. So after the project due diligence that we do, which could take 1 day, it could take 1 week, it could take 6 months, we just don't know. If there's a specific project is of interest, we will then move this over from the project due diligence section in this tab here. We'll switch it over to the trading opportunities and partners and results. So you can be able to see here, this is from the previous month. We did DDS, which basically did a 6x when we sold most of the position. Wault Finance is more than 100x right now. Berry data here is a 60x. Azuki, that's literally done, oh, God knows what that's done. That's done like a, what is that now? That's probably done a 10x, I think. Yeah, it's probably done a 10x in that. Algo is probably trading around the same price. Ethic is stable coin. That's literally now gone. I think they really need to work on the marketing aspect, but this is something I'm going to touch on in another article. I think they have a huge opportunity, but the marketing's missing there. Pangolin. So let's move on now to the 1st of the March. So Pangolin was a project that we were looking at, and Pangolin was essentially, for me, an interesting opportunity because it's an exchange. But what I basically said with Pangolin, I had this link here. If I click on this link, I'll go to it. But basically, I said I will start buying PNG incrementally from today. And that was literally in March. That was when the price was trading around, I think, $5 something. I didn't really go in heavy because there was a huge amount of airdrops that were going through. So people were literally taking the airdrops and dumping it into the market. So there's a huge sell pressure. So I was just adding to the position as the price is moving down. So now what's happening, there's going to be a governance that's going to take place. And the governance is going to essentially vote for changes in terms of rewards and so on and so forth. I truly believe that this price where we're currently trading, it has a market cap of $4 million. Yes, we're aware that the circulating supply is quite small. However, if you take a look, and if the governance, if it passes in terms of the vote, which should be taking place within the next 1 to 2 weeks, we really should see a nice steady climb to test the highs around the $19, $20. So this is like a 10x from here. But this is a longer term hold, and this is where you're playing with a small amount of capital, so a small amount percentage of your portfolio, and it's a longer term play to just see how it goes in terms of the iteration from the development team and to see what next steps they do. So that's that in terms of PNG. I'm still holding position. I'm actually going to start, if it continues to fall a little bit lower, I'll start doing a DCA, a dollar cost averaging, to really get my average price slightly lower because I still have conviction. However, there are still quite a large amount of airdrops that people have, where it's generated from the rewards, from the airdrops, and also from the rewards that's being generated. There still seems to be a huge amount. So people actually might dump this into the market. So one needs to be very careful in terms of the entry, the location, the price. Make sense? Great stuff. So the next one is Gambit protocol. My Gambit protocol. I love Gambit protocol. Gambit protocol, we've spoken at length about Gambit. Please make sure you look at the previous videos that we covered in terms of Gambit. The team are from XVIX. I mentioned here the 2nd or 3rd of March, basically just in terms of the process being whitelisted, and then I'll say I was waiting for the pre-sale to open. So all of this information is essentially added to the project due diligence, and then I'm actually informing and keeping my community, the investment community, abreast, updated with the process. So it's a big difference between entering a position and then telling your community, now is the time. Now, we don't do any recommendations. There's no financial advice. What I do is I flip it upside down. Let me explain this to you. So when we're doing due diligence, we inform our community, this is what we're looking at. These are the concerns. This is what's absolutely amazing. I'm communicating with the developer. I'm communicating with the CFO, whatever it may be, to establish concerns. Now, it gives a chance for the community to actually, if it's a private sale or if it's listed, to get in prior to I do. But the ultimate aim is to be able to, as a collective community, to come together and discuss these areas, right? So I do the due diligence and I keep everyone updated. As you can see here, the 4th of March in terms of pre-sale of those whitelisted opens today. 8th of March, listing of Gambit today on PancakeSwap. 13th of March, I bought more GMT tokens, so it was listed. So literally the price is about $4.50 at pre-sale. And now let's pop along to see the price today. My lovely Gambit, my lovely Gambit. So let's just see, it's now about $24. So let's just pop on to, let's say, go to max. It actually tested $28, right? So $28. So we're looking at a 5-6x, right? So that basically just tells you the opportunities here. And this is really within a space of like 1 month. And just to let you know about Gambit, as I just mentioned here, we still have the UI. They're working on the UI aspect. So I think previews will be coming out. I think maybe came out yesterday or over the weekend. Then also they're coming out on the testnet next week. And then also the launch, the beta launch will be basically in a few weeks, I think around the 13th, 12th, 13th of April. So we're keeping posted with that whole process. So personally, I believe there's so much upside potential. You know, they may be competing with the maker DAOs of the world. So let's look at, so they have a market cap right now of $9-10 million. Maker DAO has a market cap of 2.2 billion. You know, I think also they're competing with, is it synthetic? I think synthetic as well or something. So there's a few. It's an interest bearing stablecoin essentially. So really trying to flip things upside down. Huge opportunity, long-term growth, fantastic team from XVIX did over 100x. I do believe there's a huge long-term upside potential. There's a long-term hold for me. BSCstarters, this was a launch pad that basically set up a phenomenal team. I always say the bar chef, he's a top guy. And I always say with everyone, do not bet against the bar chef. So they came up with that idea. They basically launched, they've now just come up with their version 2 of their launch pad. They've now basically coming out with their vesting contract. So essentially where you can be able to have like the tokenomics of team tokens, of dev tokens, treasury, marketing with certain vesting periods and cliffs and so on and so forth. You can be able to then lock that based on liquidity, but based on specific time. So they're really pushing the envelope in terms of technology. Phenomenal team. And they just came out with some news. So if I go to here, BSC starter. They just came out with some news. Look at that, $27. They just came out with some news that the Wall Street bets are literally going to do a listing. Basically, a project will be onboarded on their platform. So I think that was behind a solid move that literally from Friday. So yesterday it was trading at $15, so it's more or less doubled in that space just after that announcement, which is huge. We know that Wall Street bets have a huge following, so that's going to bring in a huge amount of adoption. A lot of people, eyeballs on their space of what they're doing, and I'm really happy for what the bar chef and the team, you know, big supporter of what they're doing. We were, obviously, disclaimer, we did the smart contract auditing. We are the official auditors of BSCstarter. Just to let you know, so we basically got in during the pre-sale about $1.50, so it's now trading at 27. It did like actually a 30x, but then pulled back slightly. But this is a long-term play to the upside. I still can see this continue to go as long as they continue to innovate, add more things to their ecosystem. He has a long-term vision. So, you know, good luck and all the best to them. So we're really going to be supporting that cause. Next one is Swirl Cash. Swirl Cash. Obviously, some of these positions from the month of February, we are still in. Like Wault Finance, we're still in these positions. Azuki, we're still in this position, so on and so forth. So we're continuing to support the cause in terms of what they're doing. Swirl Cash. Swirl Cash. I love Swirl Cash. This is really privacy transactions. They basically launched a few weeks ago. And they were launched on the Wault Finance's launchpad. Basically, we bought at pre-sales around 20 something cents. It's literally done a 17x since then. if we go to Swirl Cash, the good thing about Swirl Cash is actually they had a product on the mainnet before they listed. I think that provided so much value. It's currently trading about $4.79 at the moment. We did see a bit of a small little, not even a really big correction. It's just been trading sideways since the 24th of March, which is great. There hasn't been a huge dump. So I could see a potential move to the upside, not financial advice. As long as they continue to innovate, the liquidity mining, the APYs is still at a good level. The total value locked is really growing. So they have a long-term direction of where we see this whole place moving. So that's in terms of that. Swirl Cash, which is absolutely amazing. So that's cool. I think we've covered most of the areas. We are obviously working on other projects and behind the scenes. We did an AMA with what we believe is going to be an absolute banger. Let me say this again. Banger, 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 banger. So we believe that this project is going to really blow. I can't really say too much. I've really disclosed this to the community, so they're aware that the pre-sale will be taking place next Friday. People are going to find out about this very soon. So we're getting it right at the bottom as we do, utilizing the Rug Detectives checklist form, utilizing the spreadsheet form, making sure that we have everything in place and good to go. So that's covered that session. I just wanted to jump in very quickly to the Rug Detective scam wallet. So we have a scam wallet list. If you go to my Twitter, it's also in the bio and in YouTube. So we literally also like to identify any scams that's occurred. We look at the deployer wallet of those specific scams associated with projects, and we list it here. So this is really important for people to see. But there are so many rug pulls and scams occurring, I just can't keep track of what's going on. So you can see in February I had a list, and in March there was just too many. I was inundated. So what's happened here is that there's a cool guy from Crypto Shark. So if I basically here copy that link, maybe if I just put this here, that might help. So basically Crypto Shark, what he basically said here, he said 737 probable rug pulls on BSC in the last 24 hours, liquidity removal events of 99% of the total liquidity. This is absolutely insane. So this gives you a breakdown of all of the different rug pulls in one day, in 24 hours that occurred. And basically if you take a look at the wallet addresses and stuff like that. So what I'm going to try and do is, I've been in touch with Crypto Shark. Crypto Shark is he's the developer of Chartbot and developer at ChartX Pro. Yes, I think we all know ChartX Pro. So they have a pretty nice platform. So he's the developer there. So I've been in touch with him. So we're working on something in terms of how we could essentially connect like an API and then really have everything updated so it's easier to update this information. So I keep everyone posted with that. But what this really shows you is that there are so many projects happening, and it's important to really be aware. It really puts the eyeballs and focus more on the free checklist that we have to really follow this, and to also be part of a community that you can be able to communicate and share ideas to make sure you stay away of being scammed and being rug pulled. So, and also in addition to that, it also means that it's a real focus, and this is what I tend to do. I don't focus on looking at 150, 100 projects every month. No, I focus on high quality 1 to 2 to 3 projects maximum, and then we can really zone down. This could be over a period of a month. This could be over a period of a couple of months. And then we look to see, okay, from those 3, maybe 1 could be high quality that we want to support. So because of as this whole issues occurring with these rug pulls and scams, we really need to be very, very careful with this. So that's just a heads up. I've covered quite a lot today, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. We will be with the patron, the community. We will be doing AMA tomorrow. Please don't forget about security. So we're covering security aspect. We will be doing a couple of weeks. One of the people from our group will be doing technical analysis. So there's a lot. We also have an AMA that's taking place with Covalent next week. That's a big banger as well. So let's keep going, and I'll speak to everyone soon. Bye-bye.